Namaste everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you one way you can figure out your starseed origins, and this you can do on your own. It's just about getting the right information and understanding what you're doing and knowing that you don't have to know everything about astrology and all of its fine-tuned details to figure out your starseed origins. So if you're actually looking for some type of verification in the stars and in the heavens and in the celestial bodies and in your natal blueprint, then this can provide that backup or that confirmation or that verification that, you know, what you suspected was true and correct, or maybe you even have a different lineage in your natal chart that you never would expect that you had. So I do have an important message about what I feel is important to understand in finding your origins and what this can look like on a quantum level. So if you're just looking for the template or the methodology of how to do it, you can fast forward this video to the second part, the second half, and you can watch how to do it. But these are not just your starseed origins. These are also ruling stargates that may have not even yet been channeled as a collective, as far as qualities, character, the race lineage, the council genetic expression. But it doesn't mean that they don't occupy space here on Earth as these stargate expressions. So you may be from Spica or Alpha Theta Leonis. We have stargates that hold starseed origins that are not of popularity, that are not of common knowledge, and this expression and this consciousness from this interstellar gate or cosmic radial quantum gene expression that has incarnated on Earth. This is defining your cosmic expression of consciousness, your mythology, and your mission in the world. This is defining your galactic signature and your plasma awareness identity, and your ruling stargates to your planetary houses. Just like Antares is the ruling stargate to Mars, labeled Mars's rivalry, when in truth these are intergalactic mapping systems to our galactic core and other sister and spiraling galactic cores going within planetarily to embody these perceptions and experience of multiverses. So these are not just your starseed origins, but are also ruling stargates. I would think of all stars in the sky as a ruling stargate. They all influence the cosmic radiation. They all influence solar particles. They all influence everything of Earth and of human being. You know, it doesn't have to be like we only acknowledge these specific gates. No, all of the stargates carry some type of expression on Earth, whether they chose to incarnate and be a part of the Guardian Alliance or not. And the Guardian Alliance is the 12 founder races, which would be, you know, the Orions, the Lyran Sirians, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians. These are all a part of the Guardian Alliance. But outside of that, there are stargates that are not known for this. And this is when you start seeing beyond our Milky Way galaxy, start seeing into the inner and parallel realms of Earth, Terra, and Gaia, higher harmonic universes within this frequency scale of 12 dimensions of physical matter. All of these processes of ascension house your starseed origins. So this is like the awareness of epigenetics that overlay the Cathara grids that are ultimately fighting over this within the self and within each other. So we have, you know, three main race lineages in the morphogenetic field, and two of them are fighting to annihilate the other two. You know, and then you have like the Christics or the Christed or the crystalline or the Crystalla, anything Christic. This is the true original angelic human template. But we have two other race lines that are fighting to take each other out. These are epigenetic overlays over the Cathara grids, and they're fighting over these Cathara grids within. The war rages within first and then becomes a societal, a cultural, a generational, international phenomena. And these are just genes. These are, master regulatory genes, which means they cancel out the other genes, not allowing them to experience that expression, even though it still lives within them. So the primary driver on a collective level is the hybrid digressive gene expressions in the race morphogenetic fields. That's just going from Starseed lineage to founder races within the physical body. So I just ask, please, before I show you this template of how to find your origins, keep in the realms of possibilities that you are every galactic origin, as you are every elemental compound of the stars. Your consciousness is merged with the unified field in one crystal quantum fractal breath. So communication with Antares and Fomalhaut and Regulus, Aldeberen is not as tricky as you think. As the fixed stars, these are the watchers. These are the north, the south, the east, and the west, calling in the corners, and the archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel. You're actually calling this forth within yourself, and you are an original angelic human, and our angels are galactic, and every soul genetic expression is different from each dimension you hold within, going from carbon to silica, to etheric, to crystalline, to a standing wave pattern. And within these processes of going deep within the body's awareness on a quantum photonic, geometric, elemental level of basically meta and micro attuning one's awareness to subatomic aspects of the subtlety bodies, atoms, molecules, bodily systems, and DNA, bones, teeth. This is a process of attuning to solar radial atomic nuclear energy in the body. This is gamma frequency. This is etheric visualization of Stargate portal geometrics and Merkaba spins, seeing and visualizing the actual Merkaba structures of planets and all living things. This is when you're expanding inside your own physical body with quantum energy to hold more of the universe inside of you. To attune your telepathic claircognizance to Galactic Council ESP, receiving transmission within one heartbeat. Sometimes I'll just be like taking a shower and a Stargate will activate in my mind, kind of like a flashing word, and I'll just feel it come through my mind through one heartbeat. Like that one beat just brought through Navajo cosmic core flow from the center core of Earth, where all cosmic radiation, alchemical seed prana, comes through the rods of Earth and churns in the liquid core to radiate out the ley lines and planetary grids. But this I feel radiating through my heart in one beat, and then it's like a flashing word that presents, and I sometimes don't even know what it is, and I have to go look the word up, and sure enough, it'll be a Stargate activation. And lately it's been Aquila and Hydra communicating with me. They all have messages for those who can hear their calling. So really, I get excited because there are so many Stargates that haven't even been channeled as far as their beings that live on their planets in Stargate consciousness. Many Stargates have chosen not to incarnate on Earth, so their expression kind of lurks in the unconscious collective until it's awakened or activated on Earth. Because Earth is still incarnating new Starseed origins all the time as they incarnate through a higher time continuum, through less dense elementals, and seed into the race morphogenetic field of Earth, and synergistically in alignment with the human evolution of DNA. Now, the way that I'm going to show you is my own personal way of doing this that I really just kind of came into after connecting deeply to the Mayan calendar and the importance of the lunar cycles. So this really heightened my awareness to the lunar mansions, or the nakshatras, which are 28 sectors of 13 20-degree segments of the ecliptic plane that the moon passes in its orbit around Earth. They are used as celestial markers in the heavens related to the fixed stars, one for each day of the lunar month. Expanding cosmic perceptions beyond 12 and 13 astrological signs, and realizing that there are 88 constellations in the sky. The Egyptians and sidereal astrology used 36 decans at 10-degree segments per stargate to then broaden the spectrum even more. I feel the nakshatras are sufficient enough in determining starseed origins, as well all are within the wheel of the lunar mansions. These nakshatras are easy to get. One place you can get an accurate list of them is Wikipedia. So if you go on Wikipedia, type nakshatra, you'll be provided with the list and the conversion degrees to Western or tropical astrology. So you can see with my little red arrow here highlighting the conversion. I am also going to be providing it in the description. If you want to read the list, I have a copy for the video, but it's going to be hard to read here as it's going to kind of like slowly just scroll here so you can see them all typed up. But I suggest just writing them down yourself. Get a pen and paper and just record them off of Wikipedia. Or another place that you can actually order nakshatra cards from the Science of Light, and they're kind of like a tarot deck, but you can just go online and type in Science of Light, nakshatra cards, and you can order this deck as well, and it will come with all of the degrees and the rolling stargates. I have this deck actually, so it's not so bad. It's a cute little deck, but yeah, either way, the information is easy to come by. If you want it for free, get on Wikipedia. So real quickly, here my guides want to talk about the importance of 13. So the number 13 is the power of movement with 13 articulation joints in the body. There are 13 tones of creation. Some of those are rhythmic, resonant, galactic, overtone, electric, magnetic, cosmic. 13 represents the original frequency of the Earth, the original templating of our cyclical nature, expanding one's awareness, coming out of the 12 dimensions of physical matter and into a higher harmonic universe of the highest solar tones and diagmatic electromagnetic energy in the body, basically a fourth dimensional you. The ancients and the galactic civilizations understood that everything on our planet depends on and is affected by the natural rhythms of the moon, as the moon rules the illusion through the ascension cycles collectively and individually. So the Mayan calendar honored the 1320 frequency of the moon. The Hindus honored the 1320 degrees of the segment of the ruling stargates. And my pagan foundation is cyclical within the illusion, or the Maya, or the moon, which provides the planet with its geomagnetic field, presenting spiral cycles unfolding within cycles of cosmic radiation and solar charged particles, which integrate through the rods of the planet, the ley lines and planetary grids of Earth. And there are 12 Earth gates of access, one being Sedona, Seattle, Sarasota, Bermuda, Machu Picchu, and so on. Some of us even live directly on parallel Earth vertical axis tonal lines. So I live in Denver. Denver is a parallel Earth vertical axis tonal line that runs up through Roswell and Regina, which is a vertical axis tonal line where, cosmic creation vibrations are integrated. And this also aligns me to a great friend of mine who's an amazing astrologer who just sits north on this axis tonal line. A good friend of mine, his name is Owen. He's from Starseed Zodiac on Facebook. So if anybody is looking for a Starseed reading, I highly suggest messaging Owen on Starseed Zodiac on Facebook. We are both in alignment to these access lines, and I feel our cosmic perceptions are usually very similar because we sit on the same ley line. So I highly recommend him for a reading. But I feel all of this information is important to tell you so you know why I use this methodology, why I have been guided to share it with you. I understand there are other ways of doing this that might ring more true to your framework of understanding of astrological systems. If anyone has heard of Starseed Compass by Aspen Rain, she has an amazing system of discovering starseed origins that uses tropical astrology and connects the origins by reading the ascendant and the midheaven, or alignments in a fixed or squared 90-degree position to the natal chart in tropical astrology, which is about 10 degrees off from the nakshatras. But what that means with the 90-degree position is if you're 23 degrees Libra, you're Arcturian. But you're also, if you're 23 degrees Aries or 23 degrees Cancer, 23 degrees Capricorn, because they all are in square to each other, and looking for the most established celestial bodies in line with it. So remember, when you're considering astrological systems, these are also relative positions of the celestial bodies per system of astrology that you're using, whether that be tropical, Vedic, or nakshatras, or sidereal. So if you're using tropical to determine your origins, you will have completely different results using nakshatras. So you will have to convert your tropical birth chart degrees to the Western converted nakshatra system. And it's super easy, as I will give you an example here. So some of you may be able to identify your origins and incarnations through meditation and channeling, ET contact, mediumship, or channeling. And this will just either confirm what you already knew to be true, or it could throw it off and you may not agree with it at all. Or you may see you're in alignment with an origin that's not as easy to accept, like having an Orion origin, which most people respond feeling that this is a negative, but in truth it is, immaculate strength. It means a lot about where you're at in your ascension. So to do this, you're going to need a couple different pieces of information. One being your natal chart or birth chart. This can be easily found online for free. Find an app or a website that will pull your natal positions. You'll need your birth date, time of birth, and your location, and it should look something like this one when you pull your information. The other thing you'll need is a list of the nakshatras that have been dated back to 600 to 700 BC, I believe. This is Hindu astronomy from Indian text called the Vedanta Jyotisha. Like I said, that you can literally find on Wikipedia under list of nakshatras. It will have the ruling stargate in conversion to Western astrology. So all you basically have to do is take each planetary position one by one and convert them to converted degree system of the lunar nakshatra. It's that easy. It just takes a little time. So here is an example of my daughter's that I did. Her name is Aaliyah. This is her natal chart here. So you can see Aaliyah's birth chart here. She's, if you pull your natal chart right, you should have something that looks like this, that gives you your zodiac, your tropical, and your Pleiades, which is your houses. And we're going to pretty much look at the sun through the ascending node, and then also the 10th house in the Pleiades and the rising as well. So the first house and the 10th house. If there are strong starseed placements within the Mercury through the Lilith, it's still valid, and it's still an important aspect of the chart. So I suggest, like I said, recording these parts, converting them on a piece of paper where you write down your sun through your midheaven, all of your degrees, in placements for that position. Now here is the conversion chart, completely converted. So like I said, you want to make sure you look at the Godhead, as this is the core of the being. This is where one would keep a potent energetic frequency of this particular lineage, their expression of their starseed history impacting their personality and potency of their mission on Earth. So if one holds it directly in their Godhead, this starseed lineage, just know that this being is very special and has most likely incarnated through other gates and is here to ascend soul groups, highly planetarily influential beings. So, and I also agree that the midheaven is a highly important aspect to check. So whatever one envisions in the 9th house, in the 10th house, this is what they bring to Earth. So in a quadrant system of house division, the midheaven, the degree of the ecliptic, which reaches its highest point at the meridian of place, marks the cusp of the 10th house. The midheaven is the most elevated point in the chart, and symbolically speaking, placements here stand out above all others in the horoscope. So basically, the 10th house is your contribution to the world, and this is why I suggest checking the midheaven. So for Aaliyah's chart, she doesn't actually carry any starseed lineage in her Godhead, but it doesn't mean that she's not a starseed of origin of these star systems. So the tail of the Scorpio, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Librae, Cos, Australis, that will be her Godhead. Then she has Vega in her Venus, and she has Arcturus in her midheaven. So I put Starseed 1 because Arcturus will be her primary expression of her starseed lineage, as this is going to be her contribution to the planet. And Vega will come in her second expression because this is how she's going to go about healing collectively. Lyran energy is all about healing addictions, healing ancestral lineages, guiding one back to higher dimensional versions of themselves, all of these things. She will express this through her Venus. She will express this through her Venusian way, which will most likely be impacted through relationships and through her Piranha seed energy, ultimately. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this explanation of how to convert how you can find your starseed origins. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And the intentions of this were to help you, to guide you to be able to find out your origins on your own. And if you would like a reading of this nature, I do offer starseed lineage readings, and I do ask for a tip for that. So you can message me on Facebook, and I'd be happy to give you a starseed lineage reading. Namaste, and have a beautiful everything.